Hi everyone, I've been inspired to make this video because what I'm about to tell you has brought me a lot of peace to realize. You know, we have so many enemies all around us. There's so many battles in Australia and all over the world, and sometimes it can get overwhelming. Where do we start? Who do we fight? What do we do? Is it going to work? All of those things. So I think the most important thing to realize is who is the actual enemy. Now, of course, your initial reaction is probably going to be the globalists, the big corporations, the elites. And yes, they do really terrible things, but who's behind them? That's the real enemy. And guess who it is? It's the devil. I mean, it's like I've always known that, but I've never really put it together and realized that the devil inspires people, and not that you should use that word, he provokes people like the globalists who we see on the screens or etc. He provokes them to do the things, to do his bidding, to do what he wants them to do. You know, some of them are possessed, some of these, rock stars and politicians and celebrities, they're possessed by the devil. Now, when we forget that the devil exists, that's when he has the most power. Because when you forget who the enemy is, then you forget what you're actually even trying to achieve. Now, if the devil is the actual enemy, then shouldn't we be praying for the devil to stop being able to intercede in these people's hearts? Shouldn't we be praying to God to beat him? Now, of course, God can do whatever he wants. He can win tomorrow if he wants to, but obviously he's letting this sort of thing happen. And sometimes, you know, we think, how could someone be a pedophile? How could they encourage 5-year-olds to be a different gender? How could they encourage these disgusting books in libraries? How could they encourage late-term abortions? You know, more than 60% of the Australian federal government voted against giving any palliative or pain relief care to late-term abortions born alive, and it happens, okay? And you think, how is this possible? And you could drive yourselves crazy. But I'll tell you why it's possible. It's possible because the devil's ultimate goal is to hurt Jesus, to hurt God, okay? And what is the best way to do that? It is to hurt his children, not his adults. Well, that still, it obviously frustrates God, but it's to hurt the innocent children. That is how you hurt God the most. And that is why these really rich elites, they have everything they want in the world. They have all the money in the world, but yet they prey on little innocent souls. Why? Because that is the most direct way to get to God and to annoy him. So I don't really have a solution except for we need to pray. And we need to remember that a lot of these people that we look to as the enemy are possessed, or at least they are provoked by the devil. They don't have God in their heart. So we need to pray for God to do something in their souls. Imagine if we all prayed a lot more for this particular intention, which is to intercede in the hearts and the souls of our politicians and our bureaucrats and these elites, globalists, etc., etc. Honestly, I feel like I know that is going to do more than any petition or any protest. And you know what the great thing about it is it provides peace to us. Now, I'm not saying that we should sit back and do nothing. No. Praying alone is not enough. We need to pray and act, okay? So if we can, of course. But I think we've been acting a lot and not really praying enough. And we have felt like arrogant in the sense that, oh, we can do this one protest, we can do this one petition, and it's gonna change everything. But without God on our side, it's not going to do anything. It might just bring us some momentary glory, it might give us a win in the moment. But at the end of the day, if these bureaucrats and these politicians are possessed by the devil, there's nothing we can do. So let's realize that the enemy is not man. It's the devil using man in his circus, in his play. And so we need to ask God to use more men and women, obviously, to do his bidding and to outnumber the possessed evil people. Anyway, I hope it brings you some peace. Pray a little bit more and pray for discernment on what you should do and what you shouldn't do and where your energy should be spent. And I think if your energy is spent praying, you are an activist just as much as someone who's out there with placards and things like that. So anyway, God bless you all. And remember to pray for the politicians you hate the most. It's hard, but trust me, it brings you peace.